Is it possible for independent creators to actually make, a living with their art? All right, here we are, finally, episode 1 of the Odyssey.
That's good. You've taken your first step into a larger world.
Each episode is kind of going to recap the previous month, so we'll recap the previous, because a lot has happened in our lives and in our Andromeda Coast universe. Yeah, so number 1 was probably we got a house. So you're looking at our house. So we got our house in the middle of a pandemic. So starting in January 2nd, we just created our plan. We have all these plans. We have a blog post on our blog about all our 2020 plans. And
we had planned to release the Odyssey very early on.
Yeah, we plan to do a Patreon, launch our Patreon.
We've been planning on doing this for a long time. Like this entire year, we've been planning on doing this, and we'd set our goals. We'd done our best year ever, and January 1st, bam, we hit the ground running. Everything was going great. January 2nd, in the evening, we just completed another day. I'd done markets, a little rose booth at a farmer's market.
I had taken Astra on a walk.
So anyway, I was about 4 or 5 months pregnant with Ember, and I had
in the swing over here.
Yeah, that's why I'm pointing over in that direction. I had an inner ear infection, and I was trying to relieve some of the symptoms, so I had made myself some hot tea, and I'd set it on the edge of the counter, like it was boiling hot. And Asher pulled the cup off of the counter and burned himself from his neck all the way down his chest and some of his belly, and dealing with close to 3rd-degree burns. He had surgery, and 2020 did not start off the way we wanted, and it continued.
Yeah, and we're like, how much do you think this is gonna cost? Maybe like $50,000, $60,000 in medical bills. Bets. It ended up being over $100,000. $120,000 in medical bills, expenses. So we're like, guess we're not getting a house this year.
Yeah, we're not getting a house.
And
we're like, there goes that.
Then a month later, February, you got burned severely.
I got 2nd-degree burns.
From the Instant Pot.
So I ended up doing a video call, and got that sorted out. So we didn't have a huge medical bill from that. I was completely fine. I pretty much barreled my way through that.
And we were doing farmers markets.
I was doing farmers markets 2 times a week, so about 16 hours.
Both of us.
Both of us at the same time. He was going
16 hours a week. What, like 45
minutes there,
away
45 minutes back.
To sell products at a farmers market to try and make some extra money so we could get a house.
That was the reason I was doing that. Didn't turn out that way. It made a little bit of, moolah, but. So we decided to stop doing, it wasn't worth the investment. I was getting way too exhausted. It was getting too hot. It wasn't safe for me because I was pregnant.
You're burned, dealing with a burned child. And so we were going to go up through April.
Yes, that was the original plan.
We decided not to after February, not to do it anymore.
We decided February was our last day.
Which was good because then in March,
everything shut down
and the farmers markets got canceled.
Everything shut down.
Because of the Rona, as you know about. So for the second time, we're like, even if we do pay off these medical bills, we're definitely not getting a house now, coronavirus, because we don't know what's going to happen to our income. And for a while, it was cut in half.
I've been working with financial aid, and turns out we got almost all but about 4,000 of our medical bills covered by a charity.
Right. So
that was a huge answer to prayer. Like I was like, God, we can't take this on.
Yeah, God definitely
we can't take this on, so we left it in the Lord's hands. I did what I was supposed to do, because you guys were launching, your family's business was launching a course at the same time.
Yeah,
that was in the middle of March.
Our family's business launched a big course at the same time in March. So it's crazy.
That was huge, and it was the week we took a week off and we rested. We had all these plans. We were going to do all these things, but we rested. That's pretty much all we did. And then
that's what sparked a big change.
Yeah, sparked a huge, ginormous change. And that basically put us on the path. Pregnancy was, or the last 2 months of pregnancy was, Ember was trying to make her debut early, and then
that was crazy.
When I tried to get her to come, she wouldn't come, and she ended up coming on her actual due date. So I spent
which was a home birth, so we got a home birth too. So that's another crazy thing that we did this year, and that was June 30th. And
4:15 p.m.
Yeah, then when was it, September, that you found the house on Zillow?
Yeah, I think it was September 10th.
It was like, it only been on the market for like a day, and you saw it.
It was that night. It was listed that night. I found it that night. Yeah, it was late at night. We were getting ready to go to bed. I'm like, Reagan, look at this house. I have found it. This looks like something we've been, it checks all the boxes. We're like, hold on, we've seen houses that look great in the photos, but when you go and look at them. Yeah,
so we found this house, and we contacted our realtor and say, hey, can we see this tomorrow? And we were gonna see it, but then it was raining, so he's like, well.
It was already later in the day, and it's an hour away from where we live.
Yeah, so let's see it tomorrow. So we're like, okay, but then that evening he emails back and says, hey, there's already like 20 people scheduled to see it tomorrow, so we're not gonna be able to see it, so find some other houses in the area we can look at instead. So I'm like, that's the one house we wanted to see.
But it was the only house we wanted to see.
So I guess we'll find some other houses to look at.
So I was like, you know what? It was 30 people is what it was.
So I thought it was like, okay, that's it. We're not getting that house. But you told me no.
I was like, no, this is our house.
Have faith.
I know this is our house.
God wants us to have this house.
This is our house.
So
it screams home.
I'm like, okay, I guess I'll have faith. So we go, and
with each house that we're looking at, it's getting more depressing and more depressing. And I'm like, I'm on the verge of tears because I'm like,
each
none
house
of these
is even less as good as the last one, and it's like, no.
Because I mean, it was a mad dash to get into houses that we wanted to see.
Plus, we were moving to a more, it's not high crime, but there's more crime.
The crime rate is higher than where we were previously living. So.
And so then we're like, do we even want to? Maybe we shouldn't move to this town. Maybe we should move to a different town. And we're like, oh man, we gotta like start all over again.
Start looking at a different location. And at that point, I was just like, I quit. I want to quit.
And then the realtor says, hey, there's an opening at that house, so we can go look at it. And so we get there, and there's like nobody there. So I don't know if there really was 20 people looking at it.
We don't know. That was just our little
or just a marketing tactic.
We have no idea. Who knows?
But anyway, so yeah, we look at the house, and
as soon as we pulled up, I was like, the house is blue. It has blue double doors,
and it's also surrounded by woods. So jungle, really. In Florida, it's jungle. It's not woods.
All of the floors are wood. Well, vinyl, but they look wood. And that was a big thing.
Which is nice in Florida because everything's tile usually, which is not.
And tile's really hard on your feet. It's hard for
Doesn't look as nice either.
It's a lot of accidents can happen with little kids and tile.
But yeah, it's perfect. And then we got...
The layout was perfect.
Yeah, because you got the 2 kids' bedrooms on one side, and then there's another 4th bedroom on this side, which was perfect for my studio because it's kind of off from everything else. So I got my office and studio space. And it was like unbelievably affordable. It was at the bottom of what our range was. We had no idea we'd be able to find a house in that price range as nice as this. So yeah, we put an offer on it, and then...
Which I was about to hyperventilate as soon as the realtor was like, you should put an offer in on this house. And I was like,
right. And then we had, like a week or 2 later, they accepted our offer.
Like
so then
the next day.
Right. So then we're doing all these inspections and everything. And the initial inspector is like, oh, you might have all these problems, right? Your septic system could be bad, and all your piping in the attic needs to be replaced, and your air conditioning is busted and everything. So it's like, oh man, it's going to be like tens of thousands of dollars to fix everything. Is it going to fall through? And then we had more inspectors come that were specific in that specific field for looking at those items, and it turns out that they were all functioning well enough. I mean, they're all kind of, well, except for the septic. Septic's fine, but other systems probably need to be replaced soon.
Probably need to be replaced soon, but it's not as dire as it was made out to be.
So then we got past that obstacle, and then we go on a trip to visit your family in Indiana.
We road tripped with 2 kids.
And then all the while I'm dealing with the bank, like last minute saying, oh, we need this, oh, we need that.
Oh, it was insane.
It was crazy, and all these problems trying to deal with. And then even like at the day we went traveled to visit your family because your sister was getting married.
Yeah, my sister was getting married.
The day of the wedding.
Was it the wedding or the rehearsal?
Maybe it was the rehearsal.
It was the rehearsal.
I was on my phone trying to like get stuff fixed and stuff because the bank was bad. But anyway, long story short, we ended up getting the house. So here we are at the walkthrough before closing here at our new house. So we're going to close later today, but we're just getting ready to do our walkthrough for our new house, where we're going to create all kinds of new amazing Andromeda Coast creations.
Ambi, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think about your new house? Oh. See, it's getting real. It's getting real.
In the middle of a pandemic.
In the middle of
we
a pandemic.
moved 3 months after we had a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that was huge. So
Right, and so now here we are, late November. We have our house. We finally got our Patreon up.
yes, we got that. We have a Patreon.
And we got an album released, which was not an Andromeda Coast album, but we launched a side project with a band that we're calling
You know,
Solar Dragons.
we forgot to mention why you decided to do Solar Dragon.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I totally skipped in September too. Another big thing happened. This is wrote that down in my notes to talk about too. My computer broke. So that's like my livelihood because I work from home, I work online, and so I need a computer to do video editing and access websites and social media and all that kind of stuff.
It's a very depressing couple of weeks, actually.
Yeah, it was really depressing.
Yeah. I
And
felt really
not
bad.
to mention that was how I could work on music and everything. So that ruined all of our music plans. And I'm like, what am I going to do? Then I got a Mac Mini and it's just not cutting it. It's not fast enough. It's so slow. I can't really do anything with it. So
Just for the first couple of days, we're having problems with our internet.
right. So then meanwhile, I'm trying to get my computer fixed. I take it to Apple and Apple says, well, the hard drive failed. And it was a third-party hard drive that I had put in myself. It was because when I originally got the computer, it didn't have as fast of a hard drive, so I put a new hard drive in to make it faster, but that hard drive failed. And since it was third-party, Apple wouldn't fix it, so then I had to go find a third-party person to fix it. And so just yesterday, 2 days ago,
2 days ago,
I got it back from him, and he was able to fix it for only $160, not including the parts. And so I ended up getting, while I was at it, I had him put in 8 more gigabytes of RAM memory. So now it has twice the memory, 16 gigabytes of memory, and it has the solid state drive I had him put in is also twice as fast. So now my computer is smoking fast. So yeah, so that ended up being a blessing in disguise because now I got my computer back and it's even better. And so now we can crank out a lot of music.
The other thing we forgot to mention, about the time that Ember was born, Asher contracted Lyme.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Asher has Lyme disease too, so we're dealing with that.
So a toddler with Lyme is interesting to say the least, plus an infant.
Mm-hmm. Good, yeah, dealing with a toddler with Lyme and an infant on top of all this. And trying to build an Andromeda Coast universe. On top of that, I know we keep on topping. But I also started another business called Orpheus Audio Academy, which is teaching other music artists how to make better music and build their fan base online. So if you're interested in making music or building a fan base as well, you can check that out at orpheusaudioacademy.com. Then we also relaunched an older business that I helped found called Kingdom Pen. We relaunched that in spring, April?
Yeah, April or May.
April or May.
It was May.
So my sisters are mostly the ones running it, but
They're
I'm still involved with it.
They're doing great.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, so we kind of
They're amazing.
once the coronavirus hit, we basically launched 2 new businesses.
We're insane.
Launched an album.
We're just kind of insane.
So yeah, so we didn't achieve most of the goals we set out to in 2020, but we also ended up achieving a lot of other stuff
That we hadn't planned on.
Yeah, so, but we got big plans for 2021.
Major.
And
oh my gosh, we wrote the first draft of our
oh
album.
yeah, we also I forgot. I didn't even have that in my notes. Don't even write that in my notes. Yeah, we also
Finished that at the end of August.
Yeah, we've been writing. We met each other on a writing forum, so we've wanted to write a novel together for years. And
well, it was through Kingdom Pen that we met.
Right, for Kingdom Pen. But yeah, then we got to know each other on a writing forum.
Yeah,
so,
right. So we got to know each other.
But yeah, so we wanted to. So ever since we got married, we wanted to write a novel together, and it's been 3 years and we haven't written a novel together until this year. So we finally wrote our novel together, first draft. So now this year we're planning on editing it and actually launching it this year, along with another album, an Andromeda Coast album, and we'll
possibly an album to go with the book.
Yeah, we also want an album, or maybe even 2 albums to go with the book.
We'll
explain more in another episode.
We've bombarded.
Yeah. We kind of recapped the whole story up till now, basically.
Well, it's just hard to explain things. Like, you got to give background as to why this
We'll probably have to make our singing video a whole episode on its own.
Yeah.
You kind of got to know where we're coming from to know where we're going, I guess. So,
yeah. And I understand
it's a lot of talking about ourselves, so I'm not really comfortable talking about myself and our life, but if you're interested in hearing our journey towards creating a universe, you kind of have to know the context. So
Of why it's taking us so long.
right.
Because there's been obviously, there's been a ton of things that's happened that have not been planned on.
But yeah, so hopefully I think we're in a good place though for 2021 to be a big breakout year for the Andromeda Coast universe with more music, more stories, at least a book coming out. Hopefully you find this interesting. Big reason why we're doing this is not just to like, oh, look at us, see what we're doing, but is it possible for independent creators to actually make, a living with their art? Because a lot of people don't think you can actually do that. So
Who are parents and have
especially,
little children.
yeah, we're also parents with little children. And so we're hoping that we can be,
sleep.
yeah, this has been a really rough week
Sleep training.
with sleep. But hopefully we're hoping that we can, actually do it so that we can be an inspiration to other people and be an inspiration to you.
Inspiration to us.
To show that you can actually do it. So we're kind of, hopefully you can see all of our mistakes and avoid them. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. So,
Or not just avoid them, but how you can work through them and still achieve your goals.
thanks so much for watching. My name is Reagan.
And my name is Haley.
And we are
Andromeda
Andromeda Coast. And making music is one of our favorite things to do in the entire world.
We love it. We absolutely love it.
In fact, our dream is to one day create content for Andromeda Coast as our full-time job, which means more music for you.
And it would help us so much if you would like and share this video to help spread the word.
And if you'd like to help support us even more, feel free to check us out on Patreon, where you can support us and get access to awesome rewards and perks like behind-the-scenes content, exclusive music, and much more. All right, have a great day and adventure on. All right, hit play, Ash. Good. Hit play so you can dance.